Hi folks, welcome to my bite-sized review of the new balance tension sets from D'Addario Strings. Okay, so the theory behind this is quite simple really. D'Addario think that by selecting gauges of strings in a set that have an equal tension, that it'll improve the feel and overall playing experience for us guitar players. So a comparison of the gauges between a regular set of 09s and the New Balance, this is the regular set, and the New Balance set are on the screen now. Let's be honest though, the math is really interesting, but I'm more concerned in whether they're easier to play. So let's check that out. Okay, so I have here a set of regular gauge 09 to 42 D'Addarios, which I'm going to place on this Fender Roland G5 Strat. And I've used these strings for years now, so it's fair to say pretty much every element of my playing is connected to the way that these strings feel tension-wise. And I'm going to use that as a baseline in order to check the difference between the old strings and the balance tension sets. I also have here a set of gauge 09 balance tension strings, which I'm going to place on my other Fender Roland Strat, which is the GC1. I should point out that these guitars are identical pretty much in terms of materials and setup. One's the G5, the other one is the GC1. Both have American head and necks, Mexican bodies and identical single coil pickups. So let's get the strings changed over and see what they sound like. Before I start, one thing I will say is I'm not going to comment on the tone of the strings, as D'Addario aren't making any claims about that as far as I'm aware. You can make your own mind up about any tonal differences you hear, and I'm sure you will. What I'm going to check here is the playability. So as a playing test, I'm just going to pretty much play the same thing as best I can on both sets of strings. Excuse the shredding, I'm actually trying to feel the difference between the gauges when I'm alternate picking and then going to economy picking in between. So I'll let you know how they feel, but first up is the original D'Addario gauge 9 to 42 that I'm used to playing on the G5, so let's have a listen to that. Okay, so that's that. Pretty much used to playing those D'Addario 9 to 42s anyway, regular sets. And now I just want to see what the others feel like against the same backing track. So here we go. Okay, so my conclusion really is, like anything, everything is subjective, so don't solely take my word for it. You need to try and pack for yourself. I can't really hear a massive difference tonally in the room. It's all about how they feel to me. So my real honest opinion on that matter is I can tell a difference just in terms of evenness, where if I'm economy picking, not necessarily if I'm alternate picking. They feel nice, they feel really nice and slinky on the neck. I think it's going to take me a while to really get used to them because I'm so set in my ways with the regular set, but I think that I will actually prefer these in the end because they seem to be easier to economy pick with, like I say, and they just generally seem more balanced, which is pretty much what D'Addario are aiming for. The only other thing I will say is that I did have to tweak the neck on the GC1 a little bit, just because the tension was different in comparison to the strings that were on before, and that the neck is set into used to. So if you aren't changing your types of strings that regularly, and then you go for something that is a different gauge or different tension on the neck, it's going to have an impact. So just be wary of that. Once that's set up or bedded in, though, I'm sure there will be no difference in terms of action and that sort of stuff. So that's my bite-sized review of the balanced tension sets. Go and try them out for yourself.